Okay, well, today we're going to review the Hollyland Lark 150, and I wanted to show you because in the past we have been using the Instamics, which we love these little things, but there was some issues with them, and I wanted to show...
Well, mostly it had to do with not being able to monitor your recording.
I want to compare the size between...
Pretty close.
It's about the same height, but
this guy's a little heavier.
It's about 50%
wider.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to show that. First, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead with a piece here and show you the audio with the Instamic. So why don't we go ahead and run that?
All right.
So what are we doing today, Jim?
All right.
Reviewing a new lens?
Well,
wait a minute. That's my coffee. Hang on.
What I wanted to do is have a comparison. Traditionally, when we've been doing our interviews, we've been using these little Instamics.
And they've been very good little microphones.
Yeah, it's windy today, so we've got...
a little dead kitty cats on them.
Dead cat, dead caterpillar, dead kitten, whatever you want to call it for these little guys. And this helps cut down on wind noise. It virtually eliminates it.
Right. I guess your biggest complaint when we're using the Instamic is when you go to edit.
Well, actually two things. Number one, I can't monitor. I mean, I have no idea if these are really recording or not, and whether the volume is
good or
being oversaturated, if it's good volume, if it's low volume, even though there's a way to set them up. And one of the advantages is I can use them on the phone, so I use the phone to trigger them. I've also had some slight issues when I bring these into Premiere, which I use to edit, and as far as sync, sometimes one will start just a millisecond later or earlier than the other one, especially when we have three of these going, and I have to slide them back and forth, otherwise you get kind of like an echo because but that's been a minor problem. The other
almost
problem,
like a stadium sound.
Yeah.
Today. When I.
The other problem is the fact that I have to sync these up later. So I need a clap stick, or we needed somebody to clap or something. So that's an issue. But I wanted you to hear. Sound, I have no complaint. Audio is great. These things, we don't have to worry about distance like you would with a train. We don't have to worry about Wi-Fi or interference with them. And the other problem is I looked up to get the price to see what they're currently. It looks like they're no longer available. Wow. So if one of these mics would break down or I can't get it, I don't think I can get a replacement. It appears that they're no longer selling.
At least this model is no longer being sold.
No, none of the models.
Well,
these models, they stopped completely. There's a new one called the Instamic Pro and the Pro Plus, and both of them said not available. And I looked as far as a date, and then it had no estimated date.
Well,
so I think they were like $180. So for three of these, if that was the case, that's what, $360 it's $500 some if you want three mics. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get which is the purpose of this, the Hollyland, and let you listen to the transmitted mic. Okay, so that's with the Instamics, and you just show that. I mean, they do kind of show up there a little large. Although when we did the piece, our little Western video, we've managed to hide these nicely. We had one under your little bandana, and we had the other one under Tony's beard.
Yeah, perfect.
So this would be a little harder to do with the Larks.
Like I said, they're a little heavier, but they work pretty well.
But the Larks have something.
However, there's some other things that they've got going for them. Why don't you tell them?
Why don't we show ahead and show you the transmitter, which these have little mics built into them, and also they have some noise suppression, and so if they get jostled around. And I wanted to mention that the transmitter receiver, then these have that frequency skipping. So even though these are in the 2.4 gigahertz, they do have this frequency, so they can always try to pick the cleanest channel. So far, I haven't heard anybody having issues with interference, because 2.4 gigahertz is a very, very busy band.
And we did not experience any problems.
We did not experience any, no, but there is a possibility that could happen. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and run the next piece, and this is with the transmitter as the microphone. Okay.
We're back.
So, yeah, now we're using the
Hollyland
the Lark, the 150s. And these are wireless, so these are going directly to the camera. And one of the things I was concerned about on this particular camera, I plug it in. Now we have the 3 settings on the receiver. It's got stereo, which means each one is being recorded on a separate track. We've got mono, which means it mixes it down to a single track, records them both on stereo tracks. And then we've got a safety version, which records a 1 track, and then second track, it will record at a 6 decibel lower. So in case somebody shouts or loud noise or pop or something, or they hit the mic, you can use the other ones as a safety. It also has a new one now, which is, I see there's for an iPhone, so I'm not sure exactly what that one does. But anyway, we can move around. These supposedly have a 100 meter, which is 330 feet range, line of sight, but that's ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. And that's because if you're 100 yards away, who's going to know whether it's in sync or not? I mean, I can't imagine. I think the most that we would ever, and we're going to go ahead and back up here a little bit. And also, we don't have the little dead cats on them. And I don't know if the wind is a little breezy out here. We was hoping maybe it would pick up some of the breeze so we could hear a difference if we put these on. But anyway, we can move around, and this, I would say, was probably the furthest distance that we would ever move. I can't imagine, 20, 30 yards
I know, Jim.
tops.
I think I'll go over here. I'll be off camera, but you can still hear me.
Well, yeah. Goodbye. See you. You can still hear me.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
So there we go, and we had a little bit of wind. So what I'm going to do then is put this, and this is clever the way these go in. They fit into the little 1/8 inch mini jack there. And okay, there.
So now it looks like it has a Beetle haircut.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, these are. And actually, we'll show there the size. There, we got some wind coming up now. So we'll see if that cuts down on the wind.
One thing is that the weight of them does make them kind of...
Yeah, these, I'm not sure how often I would use it this way, because these things are, they're a little bigger than the Instamics.
They're heavier, and they're going to pull on the material.
And they're going to, because Fred doesn't have a pocket to put in his. He could...
I could put it up here, yeah.
Put it on his hat.
I had a perfect spot, except if I do that, the microphone's going to be on top, so I don't know if that's...
It looks a little strange.
See, it's going to be away from me, so I don't know if it's going to pick me up or not.
But
what have I got on me?
It looks weird.
Oh, we're not strange folks.
But anyway, you see,
the medication's kicking in.
We can move around. There we go. And I think you can still hear us. Can you?
La 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 la.
Okay. I guess you can hear us.
I guess you can hear us.
Okay. Well, anyway, so these have another way of working.
And I guess if
with
you
a lavalier.
What's interesting is that these have a little mute button on the side.
Oh yeah, you can mute them out.
So I could be somewhere and I start.
So Fred said, "I don't want to. I want him to hear me. I'm going to go to the bathroom."
Yeah.
We don't want to hear that.
Oh.
Yeah, we got the wind. I'm going to take this off now.
How many times has that happened?
It's kind of breezy now. See if that picks up that wind noise. So let's go ahead and do the next one, and we're going to use the transmitters, but with the lavalier. And by the way, these look like they actually stay on there pretty good.
Yeah, they do.
So
pretty decent.
All right, well, let's do that next.
All right.
All right.
But
well,
that's not. Wait, there's more.
There's more. Why don't we show them the Hollyland Lavaliers?
Yeah, these come, unlike a Rode, which you can plug in a lavalier. Now, where the Rode has an advantage over these, and I almost bought the Rode, was the Rode's little transmitters also record in the transmitter. So if there's any interference or any other issues, you still have the recording. Like the Instamic, they have the recording. And unfortunately, these do not at this point. But they do include...
But right by the little microphone on top, you have
you can
the 1/8 inch
plug
where you can plug in your lavalier.
And so why don't we go ahead and run the piece so you can...
Okay.
And again, we recommend that you listen to this through headsets to get the best comparison. Okay, we're back again. This time we're going to do something a little different. We're plugging in. They have included these little lavaliers. These probably aren't the best quality. In fact, Fred went to pull the little sponge wind suppressor off of his, and the whole capsule top came off. Fortunately, it's screwed back on. They did give extra ones. Mine has one on.
Mine does not.
Fred is off. So we're going to see if you can pick up any wind noise between now and the wind is... It's kind of a little gusty today.
It's breezy, not as bad as it has been.
Yeah, there it comes up. Yeah, it has been very, very windy.
Of course, if we were in the Dakotas right now, wind is what they do.
Yes.
They ignore anything 10 mile an hour or under.
Or Iceland.
Or Iceland, yeah.
Yeah, basically anything under 75 miles an hour is just a gentle breeze. So why don't you go ahead and put the little sponge covering, and these don't have the little, I don't know what we call these, dead caterpillars, dead cats, dead kittens, whatever, because they're so small. You can get them from, like Amazon has them for sale, and so you can get those, and they do a lot better than the sponge. You have the sponge there with you?
I think I left it back in the studio.
Oh, okay. Well, so anyway, you'll have one. And one thing I will recommend, that if you have headsets to listen to so you can compare the sound quality. Now, these can we can plug these in our pocket, on our belt, because they're out of the way.
Right.
And these little mics are pretty traditional. They don't.
They also are not very heavy.
They don't pull your shirt down. And
I think this is a cool idea, but it's a little heavy, and so I would love to see them
it's
come
nice
up with
that
an
you
adapter.
have that option.
Yeah.
That if you don't want to use the lavaliers. But what would happen if you had 3 people? You know, we only have 2 transmitters. So I got an idea, and one of the things I'm going to try next is we're going to use a splitter, a Y splitter, and plug into one transmitter and see if that works.
Okay.
All right, so let's give that a try. So this is one of the little tips to consider.
Okay.
All right. So now what would happen? We've got 2 transmitters, but let's say we got 3 or 4 people, which we would often have if we're doing an in-live person interview. We'd have you and I, and then our interviewee. What do we do in that case? Unless we have to go out and buy another set. So here's a little tip. No, you can use a Y splitter. The Y splitter would go into the transmitter, and then you can plug 2 microphones, and those Y splitters are relatively inexpensive.
Right.
So you could actually run up to 4 microphones with the 2 transmitters.
Will allow us to demonstrate what that is like.
Let's do that. All right, so I came up with an idea of using a little Y splitter. So we actually have both of these mics into one transmitter. The other transmitter's on mute, but if we had a third person, or if we had 4 people, we could actually use 2 splitters.
Because you can hear both of us with
and
no
if
problem.
Fred and I wanted to be further apart, because maybe I had BO or he does, you could use an extension cable on this, so we could run that out. The only thing is that if one of us goes to walk away further than these allow, of course this would allow us to get
you don't have as much.
a little bit apart, but these cables obviously aren't that long, but that does work. We are picking up. And
so if we were all sitting at a table or a bench, or in a situation where we're not mobile, so not moving around, it might be a good idea. So I think it's something that you might want to share back with the company.
Yeah, there's a little clever tip for you. There's one thing that I did not see on their website. So that works. So the other thing I want to do is, right now on this particular camera, we've got it plugged in with their included mini jack. But what if you have a more professional setup where you have an XLR, what would you do in that case? And I've got a solution for that. Now, I thought I was clever to come up with this on my own, and then I looked at their website, and they actually have this as a tip. So I guess this isn't a secret, but yeah, let's go ahead and
all right, let's
give
try
that a shot.
Go ahead.
All right.
And
Well, there's also another way that you can run this. Now, on our particular camera, we have both the professional XLR type inputs as well as the little mini.
1/8 inch, yeah, the mini.
And those cables do come with the Hollyland. However, we can, with an adapter, and I thought I was really clever at this, with the mini to 2 XLRs, you can run the XLRs into, if you have a camera professional recording equipment that takes the professional XLRs. And so let's go ahead and show that.
All right.
And all right, so this particular camera has, in addition to the little mini, it's got it, which is a little higher quality. And I came up with this idea when I found them on Amazon. They were like, I don't know, I think they were under $10, which has the mini jack to 2 XLRs. And so we're going to plug that in. Then I looked at their website under their tips. This is one of the things they suggest if you got professional equipment that you want to record to, or like something like the, what is it, the little Zoom recorder, something of that nature, where you want to use the wireless mics in. So we're going to stop. I'm going to switch from the other cable, and we're going to plug this into the XLR in the camera and see how that sounds. Okay, well, now we're into the XLR. Now, one of the things I want to point out, this particular camera has a phantom power, 48 volt phantom power. Most professional equipment has that. Turn that off, because they warned that if you have that on, it could damage the transmitter.
Right.
So I want to make sure that the 48 volt phantom power is turned off. And theoretically, this would give a little bit better quality.
Well, basically
maybe.
what you're doing is you're plugging the XLR into the receiver.
Yep.
And it's the same setup as far as what we've got transmitting to it. It's just what you're doing is
everything else is the same except the way it goes into the recording device. In this case, we're plugging it directly into the camera.
Unfortunately, in yours, you have the 1/8 inch input, but you also have the XLR. So.
Correct. And I would think the XLR would probably give us maybe a little marginal better quality, plus have a little more control over the volume.
Right.
Just turn off that 48 volt if you have that.
You don't want that feeding back into your receiver.
Yep.
Not a bit.
So, I'm curious if these things have stopped the wind noise, which is picking up now. Also, now we're going to try with the Rode, so we have a little...
What the heck?
Like a little
shotgun mic,
see if that works out, how it would function.
Okay.
Okay, and you're not limited to just using Lavaliers with the transmitter and the receivers. You can also use, well, in this case, we're using a Rode shotgun.
And remembering that a shotgun is very directional.
Yeah, and
Jim actually demonstrated that for us.
You're going to see that in here, because as I point the thing away, you're going to hear the volume drop because it's got a very narrow pickup. So as we're pointing it toward us, and that's something you want to keep in mind if you're using a shotgun mic, you want to be pointing it to the audio source.
Exactly.
But it's another means
just
that
another
you have.
Option that you have.
Yep. So let's go ahead and run it.
Okay.
All right, so now what we've got the Rode mic, and the advantage of this is you could put this, and I got the transmitter there plugged into it. You could put this up on a pole. We could get a boom mic operator.
Oh yeah, love it.
And also on the Rode, although it has the sponge covering for picking up the wind noise, but then we've got this cache.
And that is
on there.
There you go.
Yeah, and then that should cut down or eliminate wind noise. So, oh look, you got the boom mic in the shot. So that's another alternative you can do if you got a Rode mic or want to get a Rode mic. This got
if you've got a shotgun mic with the proper cable on it,
Yeah, and you could use an adapter if you got like a Sennheiser, a better quality mic, which probably has an XLR or a quarter inch. You'd probably get an adapter to plug it, but that would work too. And that's kind of cool,
so
isn't it?
The transmitters are pretty all-purpose.
And now, also one more thing here is I have the system on the mono recording right now, so it's got one transmitter, but it's recording to
both tracks,
channels. So, all right, so there you have it. There's several different ways that you can use it. These are really flexible, and what's nice is I don't have to go in there and try to sync this all up, and I can monitor the sound immediately and see thumbs up or thumbs down on it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, but you're not limited to using the little lavaliers, which are probably relatively inexpensive lavaliers that come with the Hollyland. You can use third-party lavaliers.
Right. Well, why don't we show them some examples of third-party lavaliers that we tried with?
Yeah, and these are ones we have used in the past. I know if you go back and listen to our podcast from Cape Coral, we used these particular little lavaliers.
Yeah, the lavalier mics themselves, but not these
transmitters.
These
are electric condensers. These have a little battery in them, so let's go ahead and run that. Okay, for our final test, and we've got it using the XLR Y adapter on the Hollyland receiver, and we're using third-party mics in here. Now the mics that come with it I think are decent mics, but you get a more expensive mic, and these are electric condensers. They actually have a little battery in them, and so again you can see the flexibility in these particular units, that you can plug any mic that you can adapt to a little 1/8 inch of the mini.
Exactly.
Input.
So it gives you some options.
Yep. And again, I'd encourage you to listen to this through headsets if you really want to judge the sound of the, and also I'm recording this on the stereo track option. So, well, there you have it.
So we'll leave you with goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, well.
And all of those transmitters, this is what's mounting on top.
Yeah, that's what's receiving it. It's got a little
receiver
mini in here. And when you pull these out of the case, which it comes into this really nice little case, which has got a battery backup into it. And so when you put these away,
it starts
charging them up, and it can charge them up to 2.5 times. And I think it takes 4 hours to charge the battery in here. So you don't need separate charging cables, which could be an issue because these run for about I think 2.5 hours before they run down. But as long as you don't use them constantly, and if you go on a break or something, just drop them back into the case.
Let them charge up,
and they'll be charging up.
As a matter of fact, they recommend you do it. You operate that way.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some of the other mics that have like the Rode system, you could actually plug a little power bank on it if you need to use it for a longer period, but I can't imagine in most cases needing it for 2.5 hours.
On the back is where the charge cable goes.
Correct.
And the nice thing is that you're going to charge them the same way whether you're on the backup battery or plugged in.
Yep. And the price of these was about the same as the Rode. This one, for some reason, is on sale. And by the way, they come in black or white. The white was $279. When I got this, it was a special on Amazon. The black one was $250, which I don't know why there was a difference in between the black and the white one, because there's no difference in the parameters or the usage. They're exactly the same, just the color. But the Rode, I believe, was $279. I think they came down for $3.25. And the DJI, I think, is a little more expensive. It's supposed to have a longer range, but we said 100 meters on this is really ridiculous. And I think the DJI supposedly is 200 meters, which is beyond ridiculous. I can't imagine why you would need that kind of distance.
See that speck over there? We really can't see him, but you can hear him.
Yeah, you can't see the guy, but you can hear him. Anyway, if you really need that, then you'd have to consider one of those other mics. But this one is fine for the, because I doubt if we would ever go over 40, 50 yards, and it will easily work line of sight under those conditions.
And as we showed you, you were able to hear it for yourself.
Yep.
Right here on the Photobug podcast.
So hopefully some of the tips that we gave you with the the Y splitters and how to use an XLR connector if you have more professional equipment will help.
And to put your third-party lavaliers to work. They don't have to sit in the closet.
Right. So if you have other tips or techniques or something that you want to be sure to leave it in the comment section. And so until next time, thanks for watching, and be sure to go out and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already.